Good morning. My name is Don.
And I'm Sally with Maranatha Adventures.
This video is going to be on camp cooking and some of the gear that we use and the type of cooking that we like to do when we're at camp, whether we are on just staying in one place for a couple of days or doing a BDR or on the move. Anyways, I recently picked this up about a month and a half, 2 months ago, this grill, and we had a chance to use it a few times, and I've been happy with it. It's by a company called Yuko. It's called their Flat Pack Portable Grill and Fire Pit. This is their larger size, and it's constructed of stainless steel. It folds down and packs away inside this nice little canvas case. To a size of 13.5 inches long, 10 inches wide, by 1 1/8 inches high. It sets up in 30 seconds. And it safely folds down as a windbreak and doubles as a fire pit. The total weight is 3.3 pounds. The grilling surface that we got here is 13 inches by 10 inches wide. And the nice thing about it is that it comes with this little where you could be able to wedge it between the grill grate and lift it up while the grate is hot. They also claim that you can use it as a pair of tongs. For me, I think I like my tongs a little bit longer. Notice I have it set underneath the cookie sheet. And the reason for it is that when I set it on a portable, small folding aluminum table, it has a tendency to drop embers or ash. So I like to catch all that while I'm out there in the woods. It has several holes drilled on each side. That allows the airflow for the fire to keep going and feeding the fire. I was amazed how well it did burgers on this. And I haven't done a steak on it yet, but I like to try to do a steak on it. I think the size of it all is and the heat range that you'll get from it depends on how much you load it up with hot charcoal, which will lead me into another product that I like and we have. And I'll take this out of my way.
Okay.
Is a product over there by CampingMoon. Comes in a little collapsible. It's a little collapsible folding charcoal chimney starter. This thing is cool. Comes with a nice little canvas case, and it sets up in seconds. Literally sets up in seconds. For me, I installed an old pair of welding gloves in there. But just to let you see how fast this thing sets up, voila. The neat thing about this is that it's made from 430 stainless steel. It folds down to a size of 7.1 inches by not even an inch thick, by 11.8 inches in length or height. And like I said, it sets up extremely fast. We're talking 7 inches, 7 inches, 7 inches across this triangle on each side of the triangle. And it's approximately 11 inches, a little over 11 inches high on height. The nice thing about what I like about this is that the fact that, I like my charcoal fully lit when I dump it in there, and I can put as much in there as I want. And for the size of this grill, it's like I was talking about, I'll probably put anywhere between 12 to 16 briquettes in there and then lay it across there, and that's efficient enough to do burgers loin chops. I haven't done a steak yet. Might require a little bit more. But what I'm saying here is that the fact that um, I'm looking for simplicity for Sally and I, and packability, for space savings.
Yeah.
I'm a barbecue. I love to barbecue. I've been doing it for over 40 some on years, 40, close to 45 years. And a lot of my pits I start are charcoal burning pits, whether it's my smokers or my grill. I do own a couple of pellet grills, Traegers, but here nor there, that doesn't relate to this topic anyways. But the charcoal, I'm a firm believer in charcoal and wood chunks. So that's how I like to cook my food, over hot and fast. And this is the nice thing. I was looking for a good, great grill that I could set up, store inside the back of that camper, and not take up a bunch of space. And I'm really happy with this, especially being stainless steel. It's going to last me for a lifetime. The cleanup on it, I was amazed by the grill grates, the stainless steel grates, how easy they are to clean. But to take this thing apart, or otherwise pack it away, fold the handles in, fold the inside grate in. There it is. We slide it back in its case. The welding gloves. Boom. I use the welding glove because the handle does get a little warm. But anyways, what I'm going to do is, next is I'm going to talk about, you notice here, it's seasoning here. And that's also on the thumbnail, talks about grilling and seasoning. This is my personal line of seasoning that I came up with back in 2020. And we do sell it. And when I originally started, my wife and I were going into the barbecue competition circuit. And we were all set up to do it with smokers and grills, to do the steak cook-offs, the smoking, and all the exotic ones also too. So, and I was originally going to only come out with 4 lines. But then after I got done with my cancer treatments, my oncologist said, you know what? I don't think that's a good idea. Then COVID broke out. And my last treatment was back in May of 2020. That's when COVID broke out. So instead of to do my time and all these restrictions and shutdowns that they had, a better way to come up with is more seasonings. And so I gave some stuff out to some friends. They sat there and said, this stuff is good. You should start selling it. So that's encouraged me, what it done to make this a full line of 9 types of seasonings. And what I'm talking about, the seasonings that I got they range from various different types of seasonings. From your typical SPG all the way to your, what they call as a coarse chop steak seasoning. And I got Cajun, which I love Cajun food. I've been cooking gumbos for over 40 years. And a New Mexico or a Southwestern. My Tex-Mex. My Santa Maria. My wife and I are originally from the area that the beef tri-tip originated from, in the Santa Maria Valley area. And cooking Santa Maria was a tradition and a way of life, hot and fast. I came up with the recipe for over 40 years ago. And ever since then, it has changed. And I'm going to get into why I started changing some things around. My Memphis style my Texas blend, which is fabulous on brisket, and then my cowboy blend, which has Archie Outdoors coffee in it, believe it or not. I used to use 2 other different coffee blends, but when I tasted Joe Nichols' coffee, I said, this is going to marry up nice with this particular beef rub. And I was amazed by the flavor. But this is the type of rub here, you love it or you hate it. There is no in between it because it has such bold flavors. But now I'm going to get into some of the ingredients that about the ingredients I have in these rubs and these seasonings. All I use, most of the ingredients in all these rubs here are organically grown. I get my garlic and my Spanish type onion from a supplier outside of Gilroy, California. Gilroy is the garlic capital of the world. And we lived right up next to the next county up on it. And so my garlic and my onion is organically grown, and it's a granulated. The nice thing about having organically grown products, and over 2/3 of the ingredients in my rubs are organic, whether they are herbs or spices. And the nice thing about it is that the fact that there's no chemicals. There's no preservatives or food colorings or any of that stuff in there. The otherwise is there's no fillers or flavor enhancers. Salt is a natural flavor enhancer. It has a richer flavor. It has a boldness to it and a higher concentration of antioxidants, which is a good health thing. So the nice thing about it is that all my products have gone through food testing laboratory out of California. And the reason why is that the fact that it's all about transparency. What's inside this container? What's inside there? The amount of sugar, the amount of salt. Is there any fillers? Is there any allergens? Those are the things that, and it's also a guideline and a requirement throughout the Food and Drug Administration. And I'm talking on a federal basis. But it also discloses accuracy about the product. The accuracy of the ingredients being disclosed in each one of these containers. The amount of servings, and so on. That is one of the situations here that what I like about what I got going here with these rubs and these seasonings, and is transparency, because you never know what's going on. We're going through a time frame in our lives right now where a lot of things are being disclosed and we're not liking what's in our food and in our water and so on. So anyways, we use, all these have been also tested. When I came up to all these recipes, every one of these recipes I came up with. I did the research study, I tested them. Each one, some of them took several months until I got them wired down. But it's just not on hot and fast cooling or low and slow smoking, but also on air fryers, pan frying, griddle tops, soups such as gumbos, baking, all that, rotisserie, all that. We tested every one of these things, and all these rubs and all these seasonings work very well in all these different types of applications, which leads me to burn temperatures of certain ingredients, and which is critical because sugar has a burn point. It caramelizes at 350 degrees, but anything beyond that, it goes bitter. So it scorches right around about 400 degrees. Where dried herbs, such as basil, dried parsley, thyme, rosemary, all those, they have a burn they turn bitter real fast, right around 300 degrees, 325, 350. Where your spices, such as your paprikas and chilies and all that, they can hold up right around 350 to 400 degrees, but anything beyond that, it has a pungent, bitter taste to it. Your salt and black peppers, heck, you can run those all the way up from anywhere between 500 to 600 degrees. They're very resilient. That's a very resilient ingredient. But it goes back to what I'm saying about how you build your fire. If you're cooking hot and fast, or low and slow, type of fuel you're using. So far, in Santa Maria cooking style, we used to check our heats over our Santa Maria cookers, and they were an elevated cooker that the grate would raise up and down. Texas has them. They call them a gaucho grill. And you hold your hand anywhere between 3 to 5 inches over the grill grate. Anything between anywhere between 4 to 5 seconds. Guess what? That's how you determine your temperatures. Your temperatures anywhere between that 1 to 3 seconds holding over the grill grate is anywhere between 450 to 650 degrees. In my opinion, it's a little too hot, but it's good for searing steaks. It's great for searing steaks. Would I put something on here on a steak to sear it? Yeah. If it has sugar on it, no. But what I like to do is I like to cook my steak with salt and pepper first, put a good sear on it, but when I remove it to let it rest, that's when I put a little sprinkle over top. Then I'll tint it. And I usually pull my steaks off anywhere. In the old days, I used to like my steaks down on the raw side. And I'm talking rare. I mean, back in that old saying about knock its hooves and horns off, wipe its dirty old hiney off, and burn the outside. And bring it to me, and I'm good with it. But now as I get older, I like my steaks cooked right around 130, 131. So I usually pull them off at 129, 128. I'll put them on a platter. I'll sprinkle, this is my favorite rub, the coffee rub. I'll sprinkle about a half a teaspoon on there and then cover them up and let the steaks rest. And the reason for you let that reason for resting is relaxes that muscle, that meat. So all that moisture and juices and that seasoning goes right down inside that meat. That's when you taste the seasoning. It's when you put it on there and burn it all off. There's not much there except for what you're tasting very little of. The next one is the fact that for testing medium-high heat, place your hand anywhere between 3 to 5 inches over the top of the grill grate. If you can hold it there anywhere between 4 to 5 seconds, that's your good 350 to 450 degrees. Anyways, that is great. That's where I cook my chicken breasts at, or chicken thighs, or any type of poultry, is at that particular type of temperature. If I want to cook at a medium heat, and I'm talking right around there, you hold your hand over between 3 to 5 inches, and you can hold it there until 6 to 7 seconds. That is your medium heat. That is great for your fish and your vegetables. On your low heat, anywhere between 250 to 325 degrees. If you can hold it there anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds, 3 to 5 inches off the grill grate. I like that temperature for cooking off and finishing off a steak. So if I'm cooking a steak, and it don't matter what steak it is, whether it's a ribeye or a T-bone or a flat iron steak, I'll build a fire off to one side, which is a direct, and I'll have an indirect side. And that's where I like to finish them off at, is on that indirect side. And So I'll sear it maybe 1 to 2 minutes on each side, and then move it over and finish it off on that at that 325 to lower temps. Anyways, Sally,
Yeah.
what do you like?
Well, there's they're all great, but when I'm doing like foil packs, whether it's at home or out camping, anything especially with potatoes, this Santa Maria rub is just incredible. The nice thing also about Santa Maria and SPG, I love SPG when I'm doing garlic bread. When you grill it, it just comes out with this beautiful golden color. It's just wonderful. But you don't get any, especially if you're cooking vegetables, and you're, like if I'm at home and we bake it in the oven, when you open it up, the broccoli and the carrots and the celery, and none of it's discolored. The meat's not discolored. It's just bright and brilliant when you put it in. It doesn't take away from the visual of your vegetables or your meat. Don even one night came up with, I love popcorn. And he said, you know what? Why don't we put a little twist to that? And I said, what? And he said, I'm going to surprise you. So he fixed up the bowl and he gave it to me, and I saw something sprinkled on it, and I took a bite of it, and I said, oh my word, what did you do? And he said, oh, gringo. I said, I would have never.
Fajita seasoning.
Yeah, I said, I would have never thought of that. And so some of my friends at work, I brought them some, and they when they're at work and we have a popcorn machine next door, they're in there sprinkling this old gringo on it. And actually, it helps if you don't want to put butter on it, because we're trying to eat healthier. And it just gives that wonderful flavor where you don't miss the butter. But these are
Old Gringo
great
is
products.
probably another one of my favorites. I wanted to come up with a good fajita seasoning that was true, that didn't offer a lot of color, such as from paprika or the red chilies. I wanted to use a lighter color chili. So this particular rub, it's organically grown green hatch chili. I get it out of Hatch, New Mexico. There's a guy there that sells it, and it's seasonal, so I have to buy quite a bit of it. But on most parts, it also has dehydrated lime peel, which is nice in it, and other ingredients. There's some green jalapeno pepper and some other stuff, ingredients inside here. It's it's a medium heat level, so you got to be careful. Don't get too crazy, with it when you sprinkle it on things, because the more you put on it, the hotter it gets, and that's how I designed it. But the Green Hatch chili, boy, it's pronounced in this. It's just wonderful. It's just a really great product line. My Tex-Mex 1881. This one here you can use it as a rub, a seasoning, as in taco seasoning, chili seasoning, whatever. I use a certain type of red New Mexico style chili that's organically grown, and it also has a hint of mesquite smoke in it. And I don't use that sawdust version of it. It's actually mesquite smoke that's been powderized, and just has a nice little heat of it in there. The Jazz. Most of your Southern style barbecue rubs, Midwest style barbecue rubs, I'm talking your St. Louis styles and stuff like that, will have a fair amount of sugar, and they usually use light or dark brown sugar. I use sugar from Florida that's organically grown, and it's raw cane sugar in this. This has a very nice flavor to it, profile to it, but it's very forgiving, and it's perfect and I made it so it's designed for more like pork and chicken. You can put it on beef. Heck, there's a guy on a YouTube channel was putting it on Spam, and I was amazed. I had to try it, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was good on Spam. He was frying Spam. I mean, SPG Plus,
Yeah.
my number one seller. Salt, pepper, garlic with a hint of red jalapeno pepper. It's California grown organic garlic. I'm very selective on type of salt I put in there. It's a Mediterranean style sea salt. I have my salts and everything, and my peppers. My peppers from is an Indian grown type pepper. I'm not going to get into the name because I don't want somebody trying to duplicate it. But it's all been ground into the same mesh line as in everything else. So it sprinkles very nicely. It doesn't separate like you see some rubs where you have to constantly. Which reminds me, seasonings over a period of time, especially with a large garlic or onion content in it, they clump up. Some people think, well, it's ruined. No, it's not. Just take the lid off of it, get yourself a fork, table fork, and start breaking it up. The average seasoning, if it's stored correctly, and I'm talking rubs or seasonings, will last you 18 months. Anything beyond that, toss it because you start losing its potency, and it drops its potency very fast. Texas blend. I'm a big brisket cooker, and I love cooking brisket, and I cook a lot of them. I can take the most cheapest grade of Select and make it taste good as almost the top of the line. This rub is primo on steaks, brisket. The big fad is doing chuck roast as briskets. Fabulous. Builds a bark, has screams of Texas flavors. Texas flavors all the way through. And the bottom line is that it's a very peppery, very peppery. If you like pepper, like my wife does, it's fabulous on eggs. Has Camino in it and some green jalapeno and a few other ingredients. It's a wonderful rub. I had people ask me, how come you don't have something like McCormick steak rub or steak seasoning like their Montreal? I started thinking about that. That might be a good idea to get into. So after doing a lot of research and test and trial, I came up with my own, what they call CHOP. This is the 6-shooter steak rub. It's very coarse. I'm not going to get into a lot of the ingredients in it because I'll just put it to you this way. It has dehydrated onion flake, dehydrated garlic, red chili flakes, crushed mustard seed, and a few others in there I'm not going to get into. The pepper, I use a butcher's grade type pepper, black pepper in this. But it's fabulous on steaks, great on pork chops, or if you're smoking a pork loin, like I like to. It's perfect in meatloaf as a seasoning for meatloaf.
Yes.
Burgers, I like to take this rub, and I used to like to take a pound of ground burger. I put a tablespoon or so in with that ground burger. And I'll combine it in there, and then I'll grill that burger to whatever our liking is. We like to pull our burgers off right around 150, 155. Let them rest for a few minutes. And then I like to go over the top of them with just some coarse, cracked, butcher's grade black pepper. My God, you thought you went to heaven. It's fabulous. Wonderful product. Big Iron beef rub, my favorite. Like I said earlier in the video, you love it or you hate it. There's no in between with this one. This one here, I'm not going to get into the exact chili I use inside this one, but it's from South America. It's a Peruvian type chili, organically grown. Has Joe Nichols, Archie Outdoors, his Overland Blend coffee in this, which took it to another level. It has mesquite smoke flavoring in it. The type of salt I use in this particular is a low sodium. So you can adjust the salt level however you want it. And the type of salt I use in this is the Himalayan type salt, pink salt. And there's other ingredients in there. You'll notice that some of my products will have Cajun. Like I said, I've been cooking gumbos for over 40 years. I love gumbo. I was a big fanatic. I read every cookbook that Justin Wilson ever came out with, and Leah Chase. A friend of mine from Louisiana helped me with this particular recipe. Very flavorful. Great for barbecue smoking, hot and fast. Blackening. Oh, great for blackening. Very flavorful. Air frying. Making sauces and mayos and gravies and into the gumbo. I like to put this in with when I'm making my roux, so it breaks down and draws those oils out of the seasoning. Yeah. But this is the one particular product that has MSG in it, but not very much. It's because the type of ingredient, as in the co-ingredient inside of that. And it has very little. When I did research on it and I needed that particular, I researched it because I wanted something that was low MSG. And the reason for that is there's a lot of people in this country that are MSG affects them. Yeah. So I found the one that has the lowest contents in it. So, and the only two that I know of is Old Gringo and my Cajun seasoning.
The nice thing about these labels too that Don put together are just, there's a little notice on the side of what you could use, what it's good for, whether it's chicken or not. But yeah, it kind of gives you a reference point of what you could use it on. But we've seen where people have used it in all different applications.
Definitely, different applications. Yeah. The situation is that I don't have a website I sell these on. We sell these on our Facebook page under the Maranatha Adventures. And I sell quite a few to restaurants here locally. And but payment can be made through PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App.
Cash App.
And all you do is message me. Everything I ship is through FedEx. What?
It's shipped home delivery, and you get it in 48 hours. Second day delivery.
So it's not sitting there bouncing around all over the countryside. When you place an order, I usually put a brochure in there. It tells you all about the product and each product, and also talks about notes and stuff of how much to add, or you can add more on your own liking. That's the nice thing about grilling or barbecue smoking or cooking, is that the fact that you could adjust your seasoning to your liking. The other thing it talks about geographic areas of being more humidity and how it clumps up. There's a few of my product lines that will clump up. The Santa Maria, the SPG Plus, and Old Gringo. And all the rest of them won't clump up. I do have an anti-caking product in there. Believe it or not, it's made from organic product, ground rice hulls. Very fine. But it does all right. It does all right. But in order to get rid of the clumping, just unscrew the lid, take yourself a table fork, and just break it all up. But anyways, a little bit what we do. Here, when we go on our trips, we're burger fanatics. We love hamburgers. I love to come up with new recipes for different types of hamburgers. But when you think you have something, somebody else has it already out there on the internet. So that's when I decide, well, I'm going to change this thing up some, make it different. And so burgers are one of our favorites to cook at camp. They cook fast, doesn't require a lot. And
you even share the recipes.
I even share our recipes. Yep. All of our recipes, a lot of the recipes that we cook is on our Facebook page under Maranatha Adventures. The big thing I've been under for now is like taking those cheap Belvita boxed one skillet dinners
Throwing
So you got
everything
the
out.
cheese sauce, you got the noodles, or you got the,
The spice packs.
and then pasta in there or whatever. I look at the seasoning pack and it goes into the garbage. And it's whatever I decide to do. You know, whether it's New Mexico style or Texas style or Cajun style or whatever, Southern style or whatever. You know, this is what I use for
Yeah.
seasoning and in between. And I'll tell you, it's the nice thing about those things is that the fact that you're taking something and cooking it up at camp, it goes real fast.
Yeah.
It goes real fast.
Yeah. You have more time to visit and just relax,
Relax.
and enjoy the outdoors.
But anyways, this is one of the methods that we like to do. Grilling is one of our favorites to do. And I'm just totally amazed by this little Yuko flat pack grill. I could build it off, fire off to one side for a direct side and indirect side. You know, it's just enough size, large enough for Sally and I.
Yeah. Yep.
And the nice thing about it is that the fact that it cleans up easy, packs away. I mean, it's not very thick and not very big. It fits all stores in the back of that camper right there. And but anyways,
It works.
it's just another addition to our cookware. And like I said in our second video, in the kitchen video, we like to eat good. You can tell. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate the new subscribers. We're growing slowly through through YouTube, and we answer all the comments. And give us subscribe to our channel. Give us a like, comment. We like to answer those comments.
Yeah.
Share that video. You know, like I said, if you're interested in this particular rub line I came up with, contact me on our Facebook page or message me on YouTube, and I'll direct you where to go, where you can look at each. There is a listing on our Facebook page of every one of these products. Talks about it and heat levels. All of them are pretty much mild except for Old Gringo. Old Gringo is a medium. So if you like a little spiciness, then it's a good rub. It's a really good fajita seasoning. So anyways, we'll catch you on the next video. Stick around for the devotion. I think you'll like it. It's coming out of the book of 2 Corinthians. And we'll catch you on the next video.
See
We'll
y'all
see you.
later.
Every order placed is made fresh. The product is mixed. The containers are labeled, filled, and sealed. No old product will be shipped to you. This devotion will be coming out of the New Testament. I'll be reading from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. I'll also be reading from the English Standard Version. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." What Apostle Paul is mentioning in this verse is about his struggles. We humans, we have an idea to be strong means we should not show any form of weakness. However, the Bible teaches us finding true strength is surrendering to God in the midst of our weakness. God's grace is not something we earn. It's a gift. When we acknowledge this, it helps us to trust Him more in our trying times. We do not need to carry our own burdens alone. We can lean on His grace, knowing it is more than enough for whatever situation we face. There's a quote, "Cast all your cares on God, that anchor holds. It means to trust in God and rely on Him during those troubled times. The anchor in this quote is defined that faith in God will provide stability, a sense of security, and comfort in stormy situations. When we understand the biblical meaning of weakness, we will mature in ways we never imagined. By trusting in His grace, we can feel confident that we will become stronger and more prepared to face life's issues. When we walk in God's grace, we learn to let go of our struggles. Then we will discover a dependency, a willingness to allow God to lead us. This is when we truly understand and grasp the meaning. I hope somebody gets something out of this devotion. I really do. Give God the time He deserves. God bless.